Hello everyone, I'm Teresa and today I'm talking about the tarot card of the Nine of Wands. Welcome back to another tarot video. I'm really happy that you are here as we are very fastly approaching the end of the numbered cards of the suit of wands. Almost ready to move on to the court cards. But we still have number 9 and number 10 to go, so today's video is about the card number 9. And what does the number 9 tell us? Well, numerology will tell us that the 9s represent the end of a cycle, the cycle of the single digits. While it's not the end of the journey, it's time for this chapter to come to a close so the double digits can start. As such, 9s stand for change, usually a good and positive change with a lot of future to grow further. So we can assume that this card, just by being tied with the number 9, can be a card that will ask us to change something in our lives. But let's look into the card to better understand it. Looking at the card, we can see that this is a very simple card, just like the previous one. There is a man standing and he is supporting himself with one of the 9 wands. The other 8 wands stand on the background, forming a barrier. But this man isn't happy. In fact, he looks hurt and somewhat suspicious, even apprehensive. On the other side of the barricade, there's green mountains and a blue sky. But the man itself stands on concrete. Okay, so what can this all mean? This poor man clearly looks like he got some beating since he has bandages in his head and has a look of dismay. He clearly seems to be tired because he's sort of leaning onto one of the wands for support. So he is hurt, he is tired, and he is worried, but even so he doesn't let his guard down. He is alert and ready for another battle that may come. He is protecting his belongings, his achievements, his territory. We can see that 8 of the wands are being used as a barrier, making up a wall to keep the enemies out. And like any other card of the suit of wands, the representations of the wands have little green sprouts, showing us the potential to grow, to keep evolving, and even to have a fresh start. So the wands protect, create a barrier, but they also allow growth to happen, reminding us that this is the suit of our motivations, our inner fire, and the energy we need to grow. But these wands are not forming a perfect barrier, okay? They are spaced out in a non-uniform way, which makes this wall somewhat fragile. Someone smaller can squeeze by the wands and pass through. So now if we go back to this man, he seems to be there nervously waiting for something to happen, but he is alone. He either refuses to ask for help and refuses to acknowledge he needs help. He is hurt and tired, or he is so focused on this particular task that he drove others away. Notice that he isn't in an offensive stance. He isn't like the man of the 7 of wands, which is clearly attacking something. This man on this card, number 9, is ready to fight, but he keeps being defensive and we don't see a direct threat. This can mean that he really doesn't need all this protectiveness. This behavior can come from the fear of losing what he conquered so far. But staying stuck with this fear makes him stay still, and this prevents him from exploring further, from gaining even more, and makes him understandably a lonely person. And here we can have 2 different points of view. If we consider this man to be standing inside the barrier, then this concrete floor is his stability and what he conquered so far, what he is defending. But if that is the case, then this concrete floor, as stable as it can be, doesn't bear fruit, doesn't allow for anything to grow. And by standing closed in on the side, the man is losing the fruition of the land on the other side. Even if the mountains can represent challenges, Facing challenges will always bring some sort of reward. If, on the other hand, we consider the man's property to be what's behind this barrier, and he's standing outside defending it, then he has luscious lands with everything for him to enjoy, but he is so afraid to lose it. He doesn't even look at it. He doesn't enjoy what he conquered, and if that's the case, what's the point? Life is to be lived, to be enjoyed. So what do you think? Is he standing inside or outside the barrier? Let me know how you see these cards drawing, because I'm really curious with each individual's idea of it. Okay, so let's move on to the meaning on the reading. Always remember that the meaning depends on the context, okay? Take into consideration the other cards around the spread, the question at hand, and all of that. But if you get this card on a reading, there's the idea of standing your ground, being persistent, even when you are exhausted and hurt. There's the unwillingness to move, even if it costs you physically. You may have endured battles and are now standing in a dormant but alert state, ready to jump at any threat, but you feel tired, with no energy left to give. And this card can mean that you will still face challenges ahead, but you are close to reaching your goals. So you just need to muster that last bit of strength to stand your ground. Even if others try to stray you away from your goal, deep down you know that's not what you want. So you are ready to oppose anyone that may jeopardize your efforts. I always like to add with this card that the idea that even if you are fighting or ready for the fight, you need to take care of your wounds as well. The self-well-being is always important, and enjoying what life gives you should be part of your journey as well. But what about the reversed meaning? Well, when we get this card reversed, the man will lose the support of the ninth wand and give in to his exhaustion. The overload of worries, challenges, and setbacks will be hard to handle, so you may be feeling overwhelmed. You may be experiencing a time of despair, where all you want to do is give up. It can feel like the whole world is against you, but this can be a reflex of your stubbornness to move. It may indicate a time where you really need to hold on with all your inner strength, and of course this means your mind will have a great implication with having the strength to endure the challenges. It's not a mere chance that the man has a bandage on his head. Our minds are a powerful tool when it comes to working harder. Remember, mind over matter. But ultimately, if the mind starts to take a negative impact and the bandages are no longer helping, then it is time to call it quits, at least for a little bit, to rest and to ask for help. Sometimes it's better to let go and move on to new things than to stay stuck, forcibly holding on to barbed wire that keeps cutting your hands. If it hurts more than it brings us joy, it's time to move on. And this is everything for today's video. This is a very interesting card of the suit of wands, and I love how it can have different meanings depending on the reading or even the sensibility of the person doing the reading. Share with me how you usually see this card, and if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and don't leave without subscribing to the channel so you can be notified every time a new video is out. Thank you for being here with me. I will see you on the next video for another card. Stay safe and have fun. Bye!